Okay, it's Zexify. Right now, provisional pole, and that is a dominating provisional pole. That is over half a second faster than the next competitor, Heron Alley, in the Mercedes. Arpita close behind, but still everyone just getting the feel of this Miami track. It is going to be an exciting race day. I am absolutely stoked for this one, Jack.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for that, Hawking. Absolutely. Zexify doing his thing again on the medium tyres as opposed to everyone else on softs. But it's great to be here for part of the Gavra Racing Season 10 Weekend League. Races 7 and 8 tonight, round 4 technically speaking though. And it's a Ferrari 1-2 as we stand. Before we go into the actual discussion on qualifying, I do want to have a little look through, of course, at the championship standings. I'll run through these quickly. Flat Left currently leads the way on 84 points. Has got a nice gap now of 26 to Arpita, who's second on 58. Shortbread is third on 57, with Zexify fourth and 51. Pierce, otherwise known as Psycho, if you see him in the McLaren, he is now known as Psycho. He is fifth on 46, with Ben Roberts in sixth place on 41. Billy Misu, 7th on 38, with Fetz, JMB Surreal tied on 34 points. And Spannel is 10th on 20. In terms of the championship standings for the teams, well, Ferrari are running away with it. They're on 135 points in first. Aston Martin are second on 91. And McLaren are third on 87. So the drivers, this is the really now the mantle has to be taken to Arpita and Shortbread and Zexify. If they want to catch Flat Left in the championship, Orkin, they've got to make themselves known tonight.
Oh, it's going to be exciting today. Oh, Shortbread takes the provisional pole from its Zexify. And I see there's a little yellow flag in S1. Don't think it's going to be anything too egregious just yet. Oh, and an S2.
Just Shortbread, just driving slowly. I'm actually on board with him at the moment. Nothing too major. Hopefully, those though are watching the video at the moment are watching on YouTube or you're watching on Twitch. Hope you enjoy tonight's race. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Miami always promotes opportunities online in terms of league racing. I'm sure there'll be a lot of overtakes, especially going down that DRS, the two DRS straights on the approach to turn 11 and turn 17. Also want to make a quick mention. We've got another debutant in for tonight. That's Mikey RK13. I'm a little bit biased. He's a good mate of mine, very close mate of mine outside of racing, and he's in the Red Bull tonight. So let's see how he does. But I think at the moment, Shortbread, great lap to start off with. P1 in that Aston Martin.
Okay, I think you said it all right there. And just some drivers going a little slowly. That is what's causing the yellow sector. Sorry for the phone going off in the background. That was everybody trying to call up to the booth, trying to get their opinions in from last race. And there has been, correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, there has been some points, some penalties being given and taken back after the fact, after the stewards got to review all of the onboards.
Yeah.
Do we have any update on the specifics if it made an impact on the drivers' standings and the drivers' championship itself moving forward?
Yeah, there's been a few impacts in terms of the penalties. I know a couple of people are unable to qualify tonight, and we'll discuss a little bit about that later on. And I'm sure that for a few of them, I'm just waiting to see. I think Psycho is actually one of the drivers who can't qualify after an incident. I think there's a Ferrari just going a little bit slowly on the yellow flag set. Yeah, it is there, just around the back. At that awkward chicane, turns 14, 15. So those drivers who had the penalties, for those that are unaware how it works at Gavra, any penalties that are applied, if there's a qualifying ban or anything like that, the drivers, it only affects them for this one session. They don't have to face another penalty for race 2. It just gets applied here. So hopefully for them all, can drivers such as Psycho and potentially Fake Nuts, and hopefully for those two, they can try and fight their way through the field.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for clarifying that, Jack. We got Miami circuit. This is an interesting one because it is a very long straight. You got some long straights right at the start of S2 and the end of S3, but there are some very tight chicanes, especially the uphill one, the very slow winding. Is this going to affect how the drivers are going to set up their car? Are they gonna go for the all speed, or are they gonna try to get a more balanced setup moving through the tighter, slower moving corners here?
I think you're right, Orkin. I think that the drivers have to find themselves a balanced setup. I think if they use something that is either too dominant as a straight line or something that works through the middle sector, I think they're going to struggle on the other parts of the circuit. So the drivers are going to have to find that balance, especially during a race. I think the drivers, I'd be surprised if we saw the hard tyre unless there was an accident potentially.
Mm.
I think that would be the only reason why we'd see the drivers on the hard tyres. You never know, this league does have a tendency to surprise us all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but let's see how they get on. Let's see, you know, this will be only about 6-7 minutes left in the session now, so the drivers, hopefully for their sake, they're in their routines and they can get some quick laps in. And I'm really fascinated to see how Zexify gets on, because he's going to go onto a lap shortly and he's just firing it up now, actually. And Orca, do you want to ride with him? Do you want to talk us through the lap?
Let's go through. It's Zexify right now. He is going through the first turn here. Okay. The Ferrari making some good pace. He had provisional pole, trying to get back that position from Shortbread now. Sticking with 7th gear. It's going to be a tight left turn coming up. Hits it absolutely perfectly. Downshifting through the corners. Wide, high-speed turn. He's got to break this right. Ending. Oh, absolutely brilliantly. Sets a purple S1. It's Zexify. He's coming all the way through now. And it's a nice long straight here. Coming up to the stadium section, the slow-moving corners. Gets just to the edge of the track using everything the track will allow. It's Zexify. Coming around. Here's the tightest part of the track. Oh, he might have went off there. We're going to have to look at that lap. And just gets right up to the wall. Just a little kiss, maybe a millimeter off. That is as close as one could get. In the meantime, the other Ferrari gets provisional P2. It's Zexify that last turn, stretching it as much as he can. DRS active for the oh, and Zexify sets provisional pole. He did not go off. What is Shortbread very close behind him? Oh my God.
Wow, that was brilliant. Absolutely amazing. I was watching Zexify's lap. I didn't know Shortbread was on a lap behind him, but that's a great effort from the Aston Martin driver. He'll be chuffed with that. Obviously, the number 29, currently P1 for Aston Martin. The two Ferraris, as always, exceptionally quick and very close together on circuit. The championship leader in third. He'll be happy if he stays there. Fett fourth. So this is a Ferrari and Aston Martin front two-row lockout arcade at the minute.
Now, I was just looking at the two Mercedes, Heron Alley and Billy Misu, very close together, less than a tenth separating them, but Fett's right in front of Billy Misu, the other Aston Martin driver, just 4 thousandths off of Billy Misu. So these are some very close times. I think these guys got excellent quality pace. It'll be interesting to see how the strategy will affect the race pace moving on into the two Miami circuits. Oh, we got a red flag on the track.
Oh, where's that at? Oh, I haven't seen that on my radar. It's all clear on mine at the moment, so I wonder if it's just the cars coming into the pit. Sometimes the radar flashes up red when they're pitting.
Gotcha. Okay. False alarm, folks.
Goodness, I can't remember the last time an F1 game had a red flag. It's got to be nearly 10 years ago now. That would have been a silent feature that they'd have added in over the recent update. But like you say, Orkin, the two Mercedes, this has been quite a theme this season because the two Ferraris, they've been teammates the last couple of races, but Billy Misu and Harron have been together all the way through. Their qualifying pace, look at a tenth apart. They're really close. R. Peter, who's second in the championship, he's seventh at the moment. The top seven separated by about 8 tenths, and then there's a bit of a gap back to Surreal, but there's almost like a second fight. JMB Surreal right the way to Fenny Sorose is 14th. They're only separated by a second as well, so it's a very tight grid.
It really is. So you say Billy Misu and Heron Alley been teammates for multiple seasons. That is absolutely amazing. They must have a good rapport together and pushing each other to their absolute limit. Pushing the car to the limit here, and you can see they're getting everything out of the car. Less than half a tenth. That is absolutely amazing to see. And it looks like Shortbread just now in the pits. Got his feet up. Doesn't need to do anything else just yet. About
this
3.5.
Gap between Harron Alley and Billy Misu is going to get closer because I'm just watching Harron Alley's lap at the moment. I know the director's going to be flying around all the track to see where to go, but Harron Alley is a 10-4, and they're only separated by a tenth at the moment. And Billy Misu's matched his first sector. It's so close between these two.
That's absolutely amazing to see. See Heron Alley right now. Got that one last turn. Gets right up to the wall as close as you can go before giving it a little kiss. And now we got the long straight. His teammate, Billy Misu, right behind him, hopefully trying to get a tow.
Billy Misu hit the wall then, actually, going down the straight. I'm not sure quite what happened there, but Harron Alley's on an amazing lap. He's 6 tenths up, which is going to put him right in the company of Fetz and Flat Left. Let's hope he gets the line right coming through these final corners. What's his time going to be? Puts him P4.
Oh, good for Heron Alley. That is a dominant lap from the Mercedes driver. Billy Misu just couldn't get enough out of that one. I don't think there's going to be enough time to switch the tires, get on an out lap. So that is going to be Billy Misu at provisional P6.
Yeah, at the moment, our Peter probably will be the first driver to set a lap time. He's on a lap at the moment in terms of the last runs that they've got. I haven't seen his sectors. Let's see what his lap time is. Second in the championship, needs a good effort. That's P5.
There we go. Now, Fetz is on an out lap. Will he have enough time? Will he be crossing the line? I see he's getting the tires warm. The DRS is activated. It's going to come down to the wire. He should have just enough time, just under 20 seconds now. Fetz keeping the tires warm, coming into the last couple turns here after the long straight on S3. Doesn't need to push those tires too much on this long turn. Getting every last tenth he can. Crosses the line in time.
So a couple of drivers already have seen the checkered flag. Fetz leaving it with 5 seconds to go on the clock, so he's really stopped it. JMB Surreal, that's a good lap, puts himself into 6th for 28.7. Who is going to be next up to cross the line? It's Fenny Sorose, actually, but I think he's down on his best lap. So the driver after that is actually Mikey RK13. He's just coming round turn 16 at the moment, but there is a Ferrari coming towards the final corner, and it's Zexify. He's 3 tenths up. Orkin, this is it. Will he be able to snatch pole position back from Shortbread? Coming towards the final corner, can he pull it off? Yes, he can!
And he does! It's Zexify! Almost 2 tenths. What an
Shortbread
absolutely dominant lap.
Has done what he can. Mikey crosses the line in 12th place. What about everybody else? I'm just looking to see him skipping through. Flat Left still on a lap. I don't think he's improving. Judging by that sector, it looks like Zexify is going to probably get P1 again. Flat Left improves, but not enough to move him up the order. Anyone else on a lap? Fetz is on a lap still. So the director hopefully is cut to 7th place on the brakes, down into the final corner. Second gear, he's got an Alpine right in front that he's used for slipstream. Gets out of the way. 5th gear, 6th gear, coming up towards the line. Is this going to be an improvement for Fetz? No.
No improvement for Fetz. Might have got held up by that Alpine on the last corner there.
Potentially. But Orkin, he's done it again. Zexify, it's another pole position. The man is almost unstoppable in qualifying.
Absolutely dominating performance. These drivers, especially it's Xify, just continues to impress. I mean, this man, race after race, has been giving it his all, and it is starting to show his race pace and his dominance right now in that car.
Him and Shortbread in this league at the moment, as the timing ticks over, these two are at the moment in this quali session are in a little world of their own, because Zexify did a 27.3, Shortbread done a 27.5, and the next driver's flat left, the championship leader, on a 28. It's almost a second off his teammate.
Eesh. That is unbelievable. And after the top three, it really does. After the top four, excuse me, it really does start to bunch up. But it's Zexify and Shortbread, the two dominating performances in quali. Shortbread hit the pits early, had his feet up, thought he did everything he needed to do, but it's Zexify comes in and snatches it just under 2/10 to take pole. Well, it's going to be an interesting first turn here at Miami. Hopefully we don't see another first lap safety car that could throw a wrench into the strategies of these drivers. So we're going to see if everybody decides to race clean or if it's going to be a little bumper car action in Miami.
Yeah, hopefully the drivers can have a nice clean race going through this first one of the night. Obviously, race 7 of the season, round 4, technically speaking. Of course, remember, for those that are new to Gavra Racing, I do hope you're enjoying the content so far. Feel free to follow us on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube, of course, and give a like as well for those that are interested. Maybe if you want to do that. But I think this race, Orkin, is well set up for a little bit of difference in strategy. Miami has a tendency to play towards drivers who maybe want to take a gamble, maybe take the medium tire instead of the soft. But it comes down to preference because, there are certain corners on this track, like the first sector, turn 4, turn 6, where drivers can get it wrong. The chicane, obviously, at the back end of the circuit, turn 14, 15, and 16, where a little bit too much throttle and that could spin them round. Where do you think, Orkin, the drivers could have a few issues?
I really think it's going to be that chicane right at the end of S2, that uphill, very tight, slow moving chicane. To get that right, I know you want your car as low as possible on these straights, but those curbs leave no survivors. If you hit that just off, I'm talking a couple millimeters, and your ride height is a little too low, that'll completely throw off your lap. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys have their race set up, and here we go.
So here we go then, the 5 red lights have come on. And the race is underway here in Miami. What a great quick launch that was for everybody. Zexify's absolutely done a brilliant start. Shortbread defending P2, flat left, and Harron Alley fighting over 3rd place, but flat left's got in front of him. There is a yellow flag. I think there's been a little bit of contact. I think Mellow Bello's gone backwards, and Fake Nutson has also had contact. So that's unfortunate for them. But at the moment, the rest of the grid, they don't realise that. They're all cracking away. I think that's a Red Bull. Jackie on Franson's gone backwards. He's gone round at turn 4. I think there was a bit of contact. Desperate situation for everybody. But Zexify, oh, look at the gap he's got already, Orkin.
Oh my God! Already a second up. Shortbread trying to. Oh, he's gaining as much as he can. Now I'm looking at the tire strategies right now. Two drivers did decide to go on the hards. That's Milo Bello down on the bottom now in 17th, but JMB Surreal in 6th, starting on the hards. Interesting tire choice.
A very interesting tire choice. I wasn't expecting that. But he's going to be at the mercy of the cars behind him, especially Spannel and Fetz and the Alpine and the Williams and the Aston Martin. Those two are going to be so much faster that they're going to try and overtake him as soon as they possibly can. But at the moment, you've got to say the front 5 will be hoping that JMB Surreal holds everyone up behind.
And I think that that might be the strategy, just hoping to get held up there with that. I don't know if that was it was such a quick start that he didn't have time to change over. It'll be interesting to talk to JMB Surreal what his thoughts were starting on the hard. Oh, Fake Nutson already. We get a 5 second speeding in the pit lane penalty. Oh, that's what I want to see right off the jump.
He's getting a new front wing as well because of his contact, I think, with Spannel at the start. So disaster for Knudsen. He's got to try and knuckle down. There's a great fight going on for 6th place because the director will see Spannel trying to get up the inside for 6th place. I'm on board with Fetz at the moment in the Aston Martin. He's watching these two side by side, the soft and the hard compounds fighting along this back straight. Fetz has got the slipstream of the cars and try and go past JMC Surreal. Maybe he'll try and overtake Spannel as well as they go towards turn 11. Oh no, what's happened there? There's a bit of contact. Oh, someone else is round as well. I think Billy Misu's faced the wrong way. Who's that backwards? Silky's backwards as well. That was a very odd. It just almost looked like Fetz stopped on the corner. Maybe he's just trying to avoid. Oh no, it's Fetty Sorosi's in the wall.
Well, like I said, coming up to those tight corners, it's going to be a dog fight. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact. Of course, we're going to be reviewing that, but it looked like the Aston Martin driver just I don't know if he was braking a little too hard to give Spannel enough room. I'm not quite sure what the strategy was, but it did appear to be almost a stop on the track in the middle of a turn.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's going to be the case. It definitely caught out Fetz behind, which isn't ideal, as JMB Surreal again goes deep into turn 1. We're watching this fight for... What? Jan? Wow! I've never seen anyone try and take that line through turn 3. He tried to go over the curb. It didn't work, obviously. But I thought for a brief moment that was going to end it in a mother and a father of a shunt between the two. Wow, what a start. I tell you what, though, Orkin, the man who's made the moves, Psycho, formerly known as Piershoe, up 9 places already in 3 laps.
Oh my God. That is absolutely great to see. These guys are dominating right now. Let me switch over. Yep. Oh, the driver formerly known as Piershoe, now Psycho. New sponsorship for the McLaren driver. Switched up his name. Jumped 9 positions. That is absolutely amazing. And Spannel, hopefully I didn't jinx him last race weekend at Italy, but right now he jumped up 4. Always good to see Spannel doing well.
He's actually fighting side by side with Psycho, and I think this is going to be a fairly straightforward move. It is. Psycho moves himself. Oh, I think Peter's spun it. He has. Peter, second in the championship, and going into the pits. So he's pitted early on those soft compound tyres. He's going to switch to the mediums, surely. I'm going to keep an eye on him, whilst the race director's obviously focusing elsewhere. Don't blame him at all. But Peter coming into that, and he is fitting the medium tyres, Orkin.
He's getting the mediums on there. I think that's the right call. It's going to be a little long on the mediums, but you're still going to get enough traction, enough of that speed around the corners where I think it's going to make up for the loss of the tire deg. We only have 10 laps left, and if there's any other safety car incident, I think that's going to be the right call for that driver. But I see N24. Another, I don't like to call any of these drivers out, but this driver, I have seen multiple warnings for going off track. I wonder if there's an issue with the car, because this man is probably one of the most consistent drivers that I've seen getting these off-track penalties. Too many warnings, and the stewards are trying to make a point. We've had enough of this. You got to stay on the track. Oh, and it appears the stewards are not holding back with these penalties.
No, they're not at all. I've just watched Harran Ali actually on that lap, got past flat left, and he's now bolted into the pit lane. Oh, and Harran Ali picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's frustrating for him. So flat left back up to 3rd. Psycho now moves up to 4th as a result of that pit stop for Harran Ali. There's a huge fight going on for 10th place at the moment, because Jan, who's got all those penalties, and he does pick up a few from time to time, does Jan. He's going to have a trainer behind him. Mikey fighting hard with Billy Misu for 10th place at the moment. He's just been overtaken Mikey by Billy. But this is the key part of the race now, Orkin, for the drivers. I'm noticing once again, there's a few drivers who seem to have learned now over the last few races to just keep hold of the ERS, which, Zexify's got 50%, flat left has. and a couple of others. I think Fetz has got a little bit remaining as well. Mikey's got the most, he's got 73. But a lot of them still don't know how to hold on to the ERS. It's so important in the battling, especially around here.
Especially on the long straights, you know, you don't necessarily notice the car is not getting as much power, but on the long straights, even with the DRS, you could feel you're just not fighting at 100%. You're going to need every ounce of that to be competitive for an entire race. So that is an interesting to see a lot of these guys trying to gain positions early using that ERS a little too early, and I think that's going to be hurting the drivers long term.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's an important pit stop. Shortbread has come in. He was within a second of Zexify. He was closing the gap on that lap. He had DRS as well. He's decided to try and get the undercut. Hopefully a decent pit stop for the Aston Martin team, and it is. Straight out they go. Where will Shortbread feed back out? This is actually quite an important stop. Just looking where he is in relation to JMB Surreal. Oh, it's going to be very close on exit between the two. Oh, Shortbread gets out.
That was great to see, as close as it can come, and hopefully Shortbread timed that just perfectly. Great pit stop from the Aston Martin team, but it's coming up to another DRS zone, and I think he's got it.
Yeah, he should be fine. He's within, I thought he was within DRS of Diego. He is actually, so it's just flicked on now. So Diego, he's got to make this move early as he can, because Diego is on the medium compound tyres, just like him. He doesn't need to pit yet, so Shortbread's going to have to use the next DRS zone to get past, otherwise the undercut is not going to work against Zexify at all.
No, right now it's Zexify is looking great on the soft compound. Coming down to the last corner here. Let's see if Zexify decides to pit now, and he does.
So
Good, trying to cut off the undercut there. Very smart move from It's Zexify. If anything else happens on the track, you really don't want to be more than one lap away from the driver you're competing against with the undercut. So that is very smart strategy from It's Zexify. Ferrari team there with a great stop.
Right, this is going to be close. He's coming out of the pits. Shortbread is going past the main start-finish straight now. Here they come then towards turn one. This is going to be tight, but I think Zexify has got him. In fact, it's a lot further away than I thought it was going to be. That was easy.
And in Miami, it does not take long for those medium tires to heat up, get a little bit of warmth in them. And Shortbread, still, he's picking away at the time. Was just 2 seconds, got it to 1.4. But I don't think he's going to get that DRS, so I think It's Zexify timed that absolutely brilliantly. And right now, it is Zexify's race to lose on the medium compound.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of everybody else, we've still got 18 runners at present, which is great to see, considering that this track does have a tendency to spit people into the wall with the curbs, as Orkan mentioned earlier on. Harren Ali just getting himself into 6th place, a nice regulation move on Jackie on France with DRS there. That wasn't a problem for the Mercedes. Looking at where the rest of the field are, who's closest fights on circuit at the moment? Let's just have a quick look at the gaps. I'd probably say the fight for 7th with Jackie on Franson currently holding up a little bit of a train here, Orkan.
It does look like it. He's got a penalty there. He's still on the medium compound, but right behind him, Milo Bello on the hard, still competitive. Unfortunately, he has none of that ERS left available. Not going to be the best strategy if you're using the hards to have no ERS.
JMB Surreal pitting from those hard compound tyres, so I'm assuming he's going to go on to the softs. I'll just keep an eye out on that. Let's see if he is. No, he's going to the mediums. That is a surprise.
Okay. You know, that could have been 1 or 2 laps pushing it, especially at this very hot circuit. A lot of high speed, a lot of tight corners. I think the medium call might be the most prudent, but we are going to see if that strategy actually pays off for him.
Yeah, Psycho just getting a good move up to 7th place there as you were talking, Orkin. That was a really tidy move from him, and he's within DRS of Jackie on Franson, who's also within DRS of Harren Ali. But the difference is that Harren Ali and Psycho have already pitted. Jackie hasn't, unfortunately, so he's going to drop down the field.
I see that. Yep, Milo Bello, another one that has yet to pit. All right, he's coming up to the end. Oh, another time penalty. Milo Bello, when would you say the best time to pit on these hards is? I see Milo Bello just jumped up there.
Psycho's spun, that's why. Psycho's spun at the chicane, so he's lost 2 places. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but commentator's curse there, Orkin.
And as I say that, it's Zexify setting the fastest lap, 29.7. That Ferrari has just got the pace of the race today. Shortbread doing everything he can to keep up, but right now it's Zexify and Shortbread, the 2 drivers, who have been in front the whole race, and it's looking like it's going to remain there.
Yeah, they've got a nice gap to Flat Left, who's technically 3rd on the road. Diego, obviously on track in 3rd place. It's a good showing from Diego, actually. You know, this is the highest he's ran all season in that Alpha, but he's yet to pit. But if he does pit, he's got a chance of points here when he goes onto the soft tyres. He'd be mad to go on anything else than that. But a pit stop around here, maybe about 18 seconds, so he'll probably come out somewhere around Fett's Arpita, I think.
I think that's a gamble that he's going to have to take. Going on the softs, I think there's just enough laps where those softs are going to hold up, even on this hot, tight, fast circuit here. And he does have a time penalty. Now, I wonder what that one was for.
Oh,
he's got 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, he 2 track limits. Oh, maybe the tires are giving everything they could. He might be coming in this lap. I think you are right about that, Jack.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Flat Left's absolutely sived into his gap. I think he was 2 seconds behind Diego at the start of this lap, and now it's less than a second. So, Flat Left, if Diego doesn't come in this lap, I'd be surprised. And yes, he is. There we go.
Okay.
So into the pits. Surely he'll go on to the soft compound tyres now. Just watching to see.
That puts the other Ferrari Flat Left in the podium position. 3 seconds behind him is Heron Alley. Oh, another speeding in the pit lane penalty for Silky. Oh, these speeding in the pit lane penalties there. I know they were frustrating the driver, especially in Jeddah, where the stewards were not having any of it, just giving out the 5-second time penalties, letting them fly like flapjacks. But here in Miami, I'm surprised to be seeing the stewards being so stringent, especially in such a shorter pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I said before, Orkin, about Diego coming out between Fetz and Arpita? That's exactly where he's fed out. There's a big battle going on for 7th place, though, for the race director. Fetz trying to get past Fenny Sarose, but this should be straightforward for the Aston Martin driver. Up the inside with DRS, and he's through before they get to the braking zone, Orkin.
There you go. Didn't even have to use the ERS. He's saving as much of that as he can, probably for the straight, just getting out of Fenny Sarose's way. Hopefully the DRS will not be available for him that next go around. And then 24 again with another 3 second. Oh, that poor driver.
Yeah, Jan's picking them up a bit, isn't he, at the moment? Fenny Sarose actually still needs to pit. I've just realised he's running an 8th in the Haas. I think he was hoping for... Oh, actually, no. Let me just have a quick look. Fenny Sarose, let me just double check that. No, he has pitted. No, he hasn't pitted. So he's surely coming in this. Like, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, because that would have been a surprise.
Playing it a little close there, but I think he's going to be switching to that soft. I think he's going to be a-okay, but will be dropping down the order. One of the key takeaways I just want everybody to see is Psycho, driver formerly known as PSU, up 11 places. Now, he has absolutely dominant race pace, and he has been one of the best drivers on this circuit. Not necessarily the qualifying king, but he kept his head down and slowly picked off the rest of the order. What an amazing drive from Psycho.
Yeah, really, really good performance from Psycho so far. Let me just... Harold Alley's got a penalty, hasn't he? He's got 5 seconds worth of penalties. If Psycho can get within... I think he's only a second outside the window. If he can get within 5 seconds, that's another place for Psycho. That would be a great result.
Would be fantastic for the McLaren driver. And the top three, it's looking pretty stagnant right now. They have their heads down. They're just doing what they have been doing. They've had dominant race pace. Of course, those two Ferrari drivers are excellent together, but Shortbread in the Aston Martin doing everything he can. I don't think it's going to be enough to catch, so I think these drivers are just going to play defensive, not do anything too crazy, keep the lead that they have. So the podium, pending any on-track madness, as we have seen here at Gavra Racing, I think the podium positions, right now, it's their places to lose.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'd be surprised now if with 2 laps to go. Not to say it's impossible, but I've just been watching a couple of little fights. Fake Nutson's just pitted. He was having a good fight with Milo Bello for 14th. That's all done now. He's had to go into the pits, put a new set of boots on. And JMB Surreal's just had a lovely late lunge on Jan for 11th place, which is pretty good to see. The closest fight on track, actually, now is, funny enough, Jackie on Franson in 9th and 10th of our Peter, and Feni Sarose and Mikey RK13, who's down in 16th and 17th places, respectively. So hopefully the race director will get the chance to pick, let's go with, I'd say our Peter and Jackie on Franson, because soft versus mediums here, this will be close. Oh, as Psycho picks up a penalty.
Oh, Psycho with a penalty. Oh, he was closing in on Heron Alley, too. Okay, I am seeing Diego doing everything he can to hold off. Does not have a lot of ERS. He's using every ounce that he has left. Close behind is the Alfa Romeo.
He does. I'm just watching Jackie on Franson. He's not close enough to make a move on 9th position. I'm going to cut back, though, to the fight for 16th. Hopefully the race director picks this up. Mikey RK13 on the softs. Feni Sarose, they're within a second of one another. But I don't think Mikey is close enough to... In fact, Feni Sarose has just used a blast of ERS to get away. Oh, that's a car backwards. Silky's lost it at the final corner.
Not something you like to see. The AlphaTauri just had a quick spin out there on the soft.
On the soft, he's actually getting caught very quickly by the Haas and the Red Bull behind him. So that could be a fight for 15th that would be unwanted for Silky.
No, absolutely not. Let's just take a peek here.
He was a little bit slow. Feni Sarose is going to go up the inside through turn 4. This side-by-side still a low contact. Round goes Silky. And
oh, there's a crash on the track.
Oh, no. That was... Mikey was the innocent victim in all of that. That was so unfortunate.
Couldn't get out of the way in time. That is unfortunate. That is going to be a race end for Silky there. Mikey just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately, in that Red Bull.
Absolutely innocent victim in all of that. But that's sad to see, but we move on, as we always do, because we are on the final lap, despite... As Jackie on Franson, actually, I just noticed he's just got up to 9th, but he's having a big fight with our Peter. He's going to have DRS for 9th place. Is Jackie going to try and launch one up the inside? He's got the softer compound tyre, surely? No, not. Oh, our Peter's gone so deep into turn 1. He's going to go around the outside. Is Jackie? Yes, he is, and he's through.
He gets it. Let's see if that sticks coming up to the DRS zone. That softer compound tire just was not going to be a match, unfortunately. Can he get around this medium speed turn here? Fast approach in the DRS zone. Can he get it to hold? As N24 gets another 3-second penalty.
It's going to be close between those two. I'm conscious I'm watching Zexify is on his way to the finish line. He's going to come round the final corner, is Zexify. I don't think Peter's close enough. But Zexify, he's going to do it again. It's another race 1 victory. The Ferrari driver wins from pole. It's a good result for him. Shortbread takes second. Flat left for his championship chances. He leads the way. And again, it's another podium for that Ferrari driver there. Another good result. Heron Alley, I think even with his penalties, he should still finish in 4th place. Psycho should be 5th as well. I think Spanel's just about going to... Oh, Aaron's just picked up a... Oh no, that's just unserved. Spanel, another good result this for Spanel. 6th place, he holds off Fetz for 7th. Diego, got to say, really good result for Diego. That's a great drive from him. Jackie on France 9th. Peter is going to... Oh, Diego got the penalties, but he still gets a point. No, he doesn't. It drops him out the point.
The Jack curse strikes.
Disaster. I thought Diego had points.
Even with the silky spin out and the crash, Mikey unfortunately wrong place, wrong time, dropped him back. Not that he was going to be in the points regardless.
Yeah, and he's going to finish with no front wing, so good combatancy from Mikey there for that one. It was unfortunate, but hopefully he bounces back for race 2. But Orkin, that was a lot of action with only a tiny bit of chaos at the end.
There was a little bit of chaos, not necessarily enough. The stewards were looking at it saying, we can get that car out of the way. We're not going to put out a safety car, make these drivers finish under safety car conditions. Got that cleared up very quickly, so no need to throw a wrench into anybody's strategy the last lap and a half of the race. And I think that was the right call.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a mighty impact. I'm surprised Mikey didn't retire as a result of that as well. But those were the fireworks we kind of expected, and they came at the end of the race. So no safety car for that one, which is the first time in quite a few races we've not had a safety car, which is always good for the strategists because that gets the car in the right place. Zexify also takes a point for fastest lap as well, so that's good news for him. But Psycho, what a drive from him, Orkin, and I think one to watch because he gets the chance to qualify for race 2.
Yeah, this man started, Psycho, the McLaren driver, didn't get out during the qualifying, just tuning up the car, making sure everything was set for the race, and decided to do his talking on track, jumping up 11 places and getting in P5. That is why Psycho was awarded driver of the day. Just an absolutely dominant drive from pretty far back on the grid, but the top 3 hold their positions. It's the 2 Ferrari drivers, 1-3, Shortbread, Aston Martin, holding the P2. What a great race. Hopefully we see more of the same coming into the second Miami race right now. It's going to be interesting because there's going to be more drivers during the qualifying session, and everybody now has a good feel of the track. It's going to be a one-shot qualifying, so we will see what all of the drivers are going to put out in Q1.
Yeah, obviously that one-shot qualifying session, and Diego will be cursing himself to make sure he doesn't get another set of penalties again because he should have had points. But there's a couple of drivers there who need to perform. There's a couple of drivers who sort of silently dropped backwards during that race. Billy Misu, one driver you would expect, was out of the points, so he'll be hoping for a bit of a better performance in the Mercedes. So hopefully he can match his teammate Harren Ali for some additional points for the Mercedes team. I think Ferrari can wrap up the Constructors' title, though, in this race because they are so far clear of everybody else. And I think if they get a car on the podium, I think that's it. I think that's the Constructors' Championship well and truly won for them.
Looking right now, yeah, that JMB Surreal and Fetz early contact, that definitely threw a wrench into some very competitive drivers race early on, leaving the door wide open for flat left, and it's Zexify to dominate for the constructors in that Ferrari. But Arpita, surprisingly low on that position. What exactly, in your opinion, Jack, do you think was the main fault of Arpita's race there? Because that's a driver that we have seen consistently perform at a high rate, and he just didn't have it this race.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't quite have the raw pace. in that first qualifying session. I think I looked at his fastest lap and it was a little bit off the top three. I don't know whether he got caught up earlier on in the first lap. I know there was a bit of a gap formed very quickly in the midfield, so maybe he got caught on the wrong side of that. But are Peter maybe just lacking a little bit of raw speed around Miami tonight?
Well, not every track is for every driver. Although I gotta say, for every track that I've seen, the Ferraris have been very dominant. So I might correct myself right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think though, the one thing that we've got to be watchful for though is Zexify, because he's got this curse at the moment where he wins race 1 and then doesn't get points in race 2. He's had various reasons for it. Crashed out last week. We're still not sure what happened there, whether he had a glitch or something that caused him to go in the wall. The week before that, we had that malfunction at Saudi Arabia. So he's won race 1, third time lucky. Hopefully he can get the result. But one shot qualifying, Orkin. Who's your money on if you were a betting man?
Now, not to jinx it right off the bat, but I gotta go. It's Zexify. He has a lot to prove. As you say, he's got to break the curse. This man has been dominant through qualifying and race pace itself. But I think he's got enough positive momentum where he can ignore the curse of the second race and come out in a dominant fashion here today for this one-shot qualifying.
She'll be starting in a few moments' time, so the drivers will have a feel for it. I imagine the grid will be a little bit shook up this time around because it's so important for the drivers to make sure that they don't have any spins, otherwise they'll be at the back of the grid. We saw a couple of drivers spinning during the race, not as many as I thought there would be, but that might change in qualifying. Hopefully they prove me wrong. And can Zexify... Oh! We've got a wet qualifying session now.
Uh-oh. It is raining in Miami.
That will be a little bit of a kick to the teeth for the drivers. Whether that'll be the same for the race, that's the first time this season, though, we have seen wet weather in any of the sessions. So we could see a mixed grid here. Who is going to have the skill and the tenacity to find that little bit of grip and that little bit of throttle pickup to get themselves onto P1. So here we go. See who does it.
Right in.
Intermediate compound tyres for everybody. And who's going to be the bravest going into turn 1?
And right now it's Zexify holding off Heron Alley, finding the ultimate grip in those intermediate tires. Quick behind Heron Alley and Jackie O'Franson. All these drivers look very composed. I know no one was expecting the rain here on this qualifying lap, but I don't think it's going to play a big factor for the race. I don't know if we have the updated weather just yet, but you know, I got a question. How important is the qualifying position here at Miami? Would you sacrifice the setup of the car to do a little bit more well with the wet if it's going to be a drier race, or would you just try and qualify with the drier settings and have your car ready for the race?
It's really hard to answer that question, actually, Orca, because I think as we saw with Psycho in the race just gone, as it's very close between him and Zexify for P1. Actually, I've been watching as Shortbread jumps in the middle of them. Personally, I'd go for race setup as opposed to qualifying setup around here. I think Zexify is going to get P1. It's very close as Shortbread has a big twitch out of the final corner, but Zexify P1 and comfortably P1 in the end.
That wasn't even close. More than a second away from his closest competitor. And Shortbread still in the top 3 there, but Psycho coming out. It is his first chance to qualify. He wasted no time getting that P2 in the McLaren. What an absolutely surprising qualifying session here in the wet.
Yeah, really good one. I've got to say, Psycho was right with Zexify until the final 2 corners, and then he just got his line wrong, and that allowed Zexify to pull away. Shortbread P3, Jackie on France, best qualifying of the season there, 4th in the Red Bull. Haranali 5th, RP to 6th, Billy Misu, that's where you'd expect RP to Billy Misu to be, in the top 5, top 6 at least. Benny Sorose, good qualifying for him with 8th, Milobello 9th, Spannel in the top 10. Round out the grid, a couple of drivers who didn't finish their laps, Fake Nutson, Diego, Mikey and Fetz, not setting lap. And the championship leader, Ferrari, flat left, down in 14th.
We got a word from the stewards. Fake Nutson was told to cut that first corner and validate his lap, so it looks like he got a little bit of a penalty, saying, "No, we got to have you starting at the back." Oh, now this is
a wet race.
We have a wet race, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be our first wet race of the Gavra Racing League season right now.
Yeah, this is now this is exciting. This is where the drivers are really. This is where, you know, you see drivers, dry weather drivers, they're always very good, but the wet is really online. That's what separates these guys from tenths of a second to 1 second. And Zexify, he's shown already he can do it, and now it comes down to this race 2. So the lights are coming on now for Miami race 8 of the season, and the lights are out. It looks like a relatively good start from the front 2. Zexify and Psycho going for it to 1. Great start from the pair. Then there's a fight for the inside. There's contact. The Mercedes round. I think Billy Misu's gone backwards. Nightmare for him. Other drivers have just managed to escape that. There's a couple of wiggles all the way through the midfield. Jan's got away with it. Mikey's up a couple of spots. He's going around the outside. Oh, contact! That's a Red Bull backwards. That's Jackie on France in the wall. Already we've had cars backwards. No safety cars just yet, but chaotic scenes already, Hawken.
Oh, that was such a great qualifying from Jackie O'Franson there, dropping 14 spots. Ended up backwards. Not the best position to be on the track when you're facing backwards, especially at the start of a race.
No, absolutely not. A nightmare for him, and he's got a broken front wing, so he's got to hope for a safety car. Billy Misu just going past Mikey here for 16th place. I'm just watching all the little battles in the midfield at the moment. Billy Misu, I think he's got away with it. He was facing the wrong way approaching turn 1. Oh, wow, there's all sorts of... It's almost like 4 wide going through the chicane. Oh, a little bit of contact, there's a little bit of nudging and bumping. There's no one spun round, though, fortunately, for their sake. They've all got through. Obviously, for those that are watching, they don't know about the rules of Formula 1. No DRS enabled under wet running in terms of of course, the rules, because it's unsafe. So the drivers, as Fanny Sorose tried to move on Spannel there, they've got to be careful when they're making those overtakes. They have to be confident as Haranali goes to the pits. Has he got damage?
He might have damage there. And yeah, it's looking like flat left just hanging on. I know Fenny Sorosa wanted that one. The Alpine move and Fake Nutson on Fenny Sorosa.
Really close for the fight for 6th place at the moment. I hope the race directors watch it. Nutson goes up the inside. That's brave. They both get through though. What a move.
Oh, this is absolutely great to see. The track, not perfect conditions, but these drivers are pushing to the absolute limit. Fake Nutson, told by the stewards, got to have a severe grid penalty in validating his lap early on in the qualifying, but Fake Nutson jumped up 8 positions already on the first lap and a half. That is great to see.
Absolutely a start from Fake Nutson and Flat Left for that matter. They're both up 8 places. That's really positive for them in terms of moving up the grid. Just looking at it, Flat Left all over the back of Spannel in the Williams at the moment. Front 3 are running away with it already. Zexify, Psycho and Shortbread. They're already 2 seconds clear of RP2. I feel is just got to hope now for a little mistake from one of them or a bit of contact up front, because those 3 are closing the gap on one another. But whether any of them are going to be able to make a move, as Fetz, I think, is going to get past Jan. Although Billy Misu's trying to defend from the other 2 for a little bit of contact. But all is okay for now.
Spannel holding on to P5, but Flat Left doing absolutely everything he can, not trying to get Spannel too comfortable. Both the drivers had an excellent start, jumping up grid positions. And right behind flat left is Fake Nutson. This is an interesting battle for 5 and 6 right now. All within 1 second of each other, pushing to the absolute limit, trying to get the other driver to just make one small mistake.
That might be it. That might be it. Flat left looking for a move at the inside. It's an unconventional place to overtake, but he's through. That was the move he wanted. Spanel had a little bit of a moment. Oh, they nearly squeezed each other into the wall.
Wow, a great move from flat left there. Now, these drivers do not need to change their tire compound during the race.
No, not at all. So, unless it dries up, I mean, at the moment, I'm looking at the track surface, a few marks, but it's not enough anywhere near at the moment for dry tyres. I could be wrong. Maybe one of the drivers near the back will decide to be a hero if the weather conditions change quickly enough.
But got nothing to lose, I see.
Red, straight past Psycho, no messing about, that was easy. Up to P2.
Okay. The Aston Martin driver trying to close in on its Zexify. Top 3 within a second and a half of each other. And Shortbread now with the fastest lap. Quickly taking that away from its Zexify.
Yeah, easy enough, that one. Just watching as well, I think J&B Surreal just got past Fenny Cirrose there. I've got to say, to be honest, I think Fenny Cirrose might feel he's been a little bit aggrieved by being bumped out of the way by J&B, but I don't think he realised J&B was already up the inside of him and just sort of like turned in on him. It was accidental, of course. But J&B up to 8th now in the AlphaTauri. And now...
Psych pushing Shortbread to the limit. Oh, this looks like it could be a great battle for second place right now. Coming up to the chicane. Oh, and he kind of didn't have the pace. He was just under 3/10 and quickly dropping back his Psycho. I don't know what happened there, if he braked a little bit too much. But it's Shortbread right now holding out of that P2 spot. Psycho, I don't think he has enough to catch him on this straight. Both have about the same ERS. Both decided not to activate. Gonna let the slipstream do the talking and just sit back a second. I see flat left quickly coming on. Quickly getting Arpita around the last turn. And Arpita holds it for now. Flat left very close behind. Decides he's going to make a move. Oh, and he does. Flat left gets right by Arpita. Can he get it to stick on the first turn? Looks like he does. Okay, what a great move from flat left. We got a yellow flag in S3. Not anything too crazy.
Looks like Silky's just had a bit of a spin and he's gone into and he's sped in the pit lane for good measure, so that's a brutal set of corners for him. But yeah, great move from flat left. Up 10 places, despite his qualifying. I think if he finishes 4th, he'll just say to himself, that'll do. I'll concentrate on the championship for the final round and try and seal the deal there. Peter, not much he could have done about it, as Jan picks up a custom penalty for the Haas driver, as he has a tendency to do. I've got to say, the driver I'm impressed with at the moment, do you know what, actually, you know what, Orkan, we have a tendency to curse drivers. I'm not going to say who it is. He's in the top 10, is all I'm going to say, and I'll mention him at the end.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
But good fight between Spanel and Fake Nutson at the moment for 6th position. Oh, look at Fake Nutson just practically pushing the Williams through the second sector there. But Nutson's just not got enough ERS. Just not got enough ERS at all. Spanel's just holding on to about 30%. And he can't get close enough. And no ERS, of course. Oh!
Makes a late lunge. Can he get it to stick? Oh, absolutely amazing work from the Williams driver. Spanel holding on to P6.
Oh my goodness, what a lunge that was from Fake Nuts, and he really tried for it, but great racecraft from Spanel. Just went, yep, see you mate, I'll take that one back. and
Said,
did the
thank you
undercut on him.
very much. Yeah, that was an excellent undercut there from Spanel, but they are neck and neck right now. Fake Nuts not letting up. No
No way,
ERS,
surely.
no problem.
Around the outside from Fake Nuts, and that's an unbelievable overtake of the Alpine, and he moves up to 6th place. Did you see that?
That was an absolutely crazy move, and I think he's going to get it to stick. Not a lot of ERS, almost none. Spanel might be looking to pounce coming up to the end of S2 here, the long chicane.
Ooh,
Oh,
he's
this
not
is a
quite.
great battle.
These two have been really close for a number of laps. I feel that. Oh, safety car.
Oh,
Now, what's that come out for? Because there was no indication of anyone having spun. Let's have a quick scan through, actually, Orkin, just whilst everyone's going round. Oh, Fetz has got no front wing. So, and nor has Fenny Sarose, for that matter. So, if those two had a little bit of a coming together on track, and that's what's caused it.
Well, this is going to be interesting here. I know you don't need to change compound, but if there's any way to get an extra advantage on the track, would it be worth pitting right now if you don't have any damage?
If you're near the back, I suppose it would be worth it because they're not really going to lose much in terms of positions. Because JMB Surreal's pitting, as we say that. I'm just looking to see Fenny Sarose's come into the pits. Fetz, obviously, Milo Bello's also come into the pits. So that's going to promote a few drivers up. So Jan's going to move into the top 10, along with Mikey as well. Don't know about anybody else. I think everyone else behind those two had been into the walls at some point. So for those drivers, for JMB, he's only lost, I think he was just inside the top 10. He's only lost 2 places, really. So he's the driver, really, that benefits the most from getting a free pit stop and a fresh set of boots on.
I think you're right there. Sticking with the intermediate compound, the rain is not looking to hold up at all, but no need for the wets just yet. Just need that little extra traction here at the Miami circuit. And we got a safety car about halfway through the race. Right now, it has been a very entertaining race. I gotta say, with a little bit of rain, throwing the drivers a wrench in their strategies, just trying to see who's got the ultimate pace, who's got the ultimate skill. We saw what you did in the dry. Let's see how you could do in the wet, especially around these tight corners. With everybody bunched up, ERS now with really the only boost, no DRS activated in the wet. I think the strategy now is to save as much as you can, and once you get to the long straights, let that go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm watching all the drivers who aren't on the safety car train desperately trying to catch up to the back of everybody else at the moment. Now, a quick note on that. Everyone outside of the top 10 have made a pit stop, but the difference is that Jackie on Franson, Diego and Silky are already on slightly worn tyres, whereas Haran Ali, Fenny Sarose, Fetz and Milo Bello, along with JMB Surreal, have just made advantage of that safety car. So, ooh, this could be exciting with another 5 laps, I reckon, potentially.
Yeah, I think this is going to go around one more time. Not every driver's caught up yet. I see Silky still has that penalty, but still making his way just to catch up to Q. It's Sexify short, right? Okay, gotcha.
It's just Silky's the only one who's yet to catch up to it. Oh, there's been contact. Haran Ali has run into the back of Fenny Sarose. What did I just say, Orkan? What did I say? Drivers trying to catch the safety car. Haran Ali has just ran straight into the back of Fenny Sarose. I don't know if he's got front wing. I'd imagine he has. I mean,
his wing doesn't look too damaged from this angle. I don't know what the strategy is going to be, dropping all the way back on the grid to last. Oh, what a shame for that Mercedes driver.
If the safety car doesn't come in this lap, if I was Fenny Sarose or Haran Ali, I'd just go in and pit again. Oh, there's more contact. Diego's running to the back of Jackie on France. And this is the problem with the safety car in this game, ladies and gentlemen. It just slows down a little bit too much, and that can catch drivers out in the slower sections, which is what we're saying. And here's a safety car in this lap. There we go.
In this lap. Oh, throwing a wrench into these guys' strategies, not getting the right distance while that safety car slams on its brakes, especially in the tight corners here. That is interesting. No penalties were awarded, but positions were lost here on this safety car. It's Zexify will be the one starting off the bunch.
Flat left will be licking his lips.
Yes, sir. Oh, Heron Alley, a severe collision penalty awarded late.
Here we go at the front. Zexify's got himself underway and he's jumped shortbread. So that's a good restart. He's done really well there. Flat left right on the back of... Oh, there's a yellow flat. It's actually Aaron Alley going into the pits. But it all... Oh, our Peter got it all wrong into turn one. He's gone sailing off. And then there's contact and he's in the wall and he's been hit.
Oh, no. Arpita had such a great race. Oh, you hate to see it.
As well. Psycho's had a little wiggle. Fake Knutson, what a race he's having. He's up to fourth. Flat left onto the podium at the moment. Those two are absolutely flying at the moment. Zexify's gone, by the way, for everybody else who's interested in the race. But we're concentrating on shortbread, Flat left, Knutson. Those three. What a race for Flat left and Fake Knutson. They're having a great time.
Yeah, they jumped up to the back of the grid, respectively 3 and 4. Oh, there's another crash! The Aston Martin driver. Oh, Fats.
Nightmare for Fats. That looked like 3 wide or something was going on there, and he saw the back end of that and just saw the Aston Martin spearing into the wall. Oh, disappointing restart for him.
Well, he's going to need to dive back into the pits, get another wing. Oh, what a shame.
Fake Knutson and Psycho side by side for P4 race director. Psycho's on the outside line. He's got a bit more. Oh, Fake Knutson breaks a little bit later, and he keeps fourth for now. But here comes Psycho. No, he's just held it. Spanel, surely he's going to get him. Will Billy Misu follow him through? Oh my God, Billy Misu. Oh, he's at the wall.
Oh my.
Oh wow, what
Absolute
a restart.
Chaos during this restart. Spanel jumps up. Oh, another spin from Spanel.
Oh no. Spanel round. Nightmare for him. Psycho moves himself in front of Billy Misu for P5. It's all kicking off in this race. Wow, absolutely unbelievable here.
Billy Misu making a move. Can he get it to stick?
He's in front, but he's going to have ERS in the slipstream with Psycho. They're both using the ERS at the moment. They're just using all of it, what they can. Psycho slots in behind. Will he try and go the long way round? He's going to try it around the outside. He breaks a little bit later, but Billy Misu's gone deep.
Oh, absolutely great driving coming up to this chicane here. What driver's going to break first? Psycho hits that so clean. Will he hit the wall? Absolutely not. Oh, what a move. That was a battle for P5. That is absolutely great to see both their drivers using some of the ERS.
Has been overtaken by Shortbread in a fight for the lead. Sorry, Orchid, to cut you off, but Shortbread timed it to perfection. She had a great run out of turn 16, and Shortbread has the lead, but here comes Zexify. He wants that P1 back. He's not happy. He's not got much ERS, to be honest with you, nor has Shortbread. They're both going for it. He's going to try and go around the outside, but he doesn't make the move.
Yeah, no worries. Cut me off. I mean, there's been so much action in the middle of the pack.
They're side by side, and Zexify goes through.
This is a dog fight for the first position. Not much action has been happening up towards the front now, but we have a race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. It's Zexify getting his position back. Shortbread close behind, less than half a second.
Absolutely brilliant. This has been unbelievable. Here comes Shortbread straight through. Oh no! Zexify! He's out! He's hit the wall.
Oh,
That's
no.
a reset back. Will he get done for that? That might be a penalty for Zexify. Fake Nuts moves up to third. Psycho is not going to be close enough to make a move because he's fended off Billy Misu. There is a fight literally everywhere you look. It's unbelievable. Contact between Billy Misu and Psycho. Oh my God. Where do you look, Vulcan?
Oh, I do not envy the race director's decision right now who to follow, but oh, it's Zexify just clipped Shortbread. I don't know if that was a racing incident. We're definitely going to review that after the fact, but a penalty was given, I see. The stewards are, no, it's Zexify, little 3-second penalty going off the track there.
Yeah, nice clip the chicane. There's all sorts of chaos going on between the bottom reaches of the lower 10. Zexify in the pits.
Needs to
he's
pit
retired.
there.
Wow, his curse continues, Orkin.
Now, I wonder what the decision was there to retire from the race. Too much damage on the car?
Must have done. That's the only logical reason I could think of. So, we have a brief moment to take a breath, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't happen often. Billy Misu very close to the back of Psycho at the moment. But Jan is holding everybody up. He's in 7th place at the moment. I've got to say, this is a good performance from him. Obviously, he's got a penalty, unfortunately. But he's got a train of cars all the way to 13th, as Felix Rose does a great move on our Peter for that place. Psycho, though, fighting really hard with Billy Misu. Is he going to look around the outside? Billy Misu's already got past him. Not quite.
Not quite yet, but Psycho is not letting up. Right on the rear of that Mercedes, Billy Misu doing what he can. Bringing that car as wide as he can, getting the best angle on this uphill chicane, finding as much traction. Will they hit the wall? No, getting as close as they possibly can. Psycho using the ERS. I don't think Billy Misu has the ERS to keep up.
Psycho's got a little bit left, so he could just keep hold of that. Tactically try and use that towards it. I've got to say, it is getting a little bit dry now. It's not going to affect the race, but, you know, for some drivers, they might just lean on the car a little bit more. We might see a few more mistakes yet. What a battle we've got. This has been unbelievable. Since the safety car came in, this has been a race for the ages here at Gavra. It's been so exciting.
Yeah, Jack, I completely agree. There's been so much chaos. We need the Octobox to follow all of the on-track excitement, especially after that safety car.
Jan went really deep, and Diego's moved himself up to 7th place. The prodigal son, who should have had a point before, he's gone deep again, though. This is causing all sorts of chaos. Mikey can't get round them at the moment. Milo Bellows right there as well. Silky's half a second. There's an unbelievable fight going on for 7th place. Now, Mikey, can he get past? This time he does. He's got so much ERS compared to everyone else's. Mikey, off on your bike, son. He's away. Jan now trying to fend off from Milo Bello in 9th place. Milo, I reckon Milo's going to try and go for this. Is he going to try and make a lunge? Yes, he is! Up the inside. They try and keep it clean. Silky, opportunity knocks for him. Oh my goodness, it's so close. But they come for it cleanly. Oh no! God.
Right when we thought we saw it all on the just a lap and a half remaining, these cars are tight, they're bunched together. Not too much ERS available on a lot of these drivers, but we got the long straight right now. Seeing who has the best strategy. Diego trying to hold on to that P7, takes a great last turn. Mikey close behind. Saved up.
Mikey's got so much ERS left, hasn't he?
Yeah, that might be the one on the grid with a good amount of ERS left. Let's see if he uses that strategically. Oh, Jackie O'Franson.
Jackie's going backwards, isn't he? Yeah. Unbelievably, folks, we are on the last lap. Would you believe it? Shortbread is on his way to a win of the season for him. I'm just looking to see. The closest fight is actually Mikey and Jan at the moment. Jan in 9th place, but Mikey's got so much ERS, he might as well just dump it now and just get away from him.
And I think he hurt there, Jack. He's using that ERS on the long straight here, trying to get that position.
Silky flies past Jan as well. What a great race this has been. This has been the best race of the season. It's been so action-packed. Jan and Silky fighting side by side. They keep it clean. But I'm going to cut to Shortbread because he's put in a good shift today. He's going to get the win that he fully deserves in that Aston Martin. The number 29, he is going to be race winner for tonight. Shortbread 224 takes the win. Flat left second. Fake Knutson, his first podium, and he was the driver I didn't want to jinx before. Well done to the Alpine. He's done great there with 12 places gained. Billy Misu holds on for fourth. Psycho fifth. JMB Serial sixth with Diego seventh. Is Mikey, Silky, or Jan who's going to get seventh place? Diego's got to finish seventh. So close on the line.
Well, it came down to the wire there.
Are they going to hold on for the points? Mikey does. Milo Bello gets ninth. Peter 10th. Silky misses out with Spannel. Fanny Sarose, Jan, Jackie on Francin, and obviously Betts a lap down. Orkin. Wow.
I'm gonna need to catch my breath after that one, Jack. What an action-packed day of racing. That safety car was just the action we needed. A lot of drivers pushed to the very limit their capabilities, pushing that vehicle to the absolute max as well. This is where all the drivers become men. This is where boys become men here. When we throw rain on such a tight, fast circuit like Miami. Some absolutely dominating performances. I personally don't know who to give driver of the day to.
Do you know what? I'm gonna give it. From my perspective, I'm gonna give it. There's some. I mean, Diego, Mikey, they've made up some big places. I think they've made up 9 places each. But it's between Flat Left and Fake Knutson. They've both made 12 places up. But I'm gonna give it to Fake Knutson. It's his first podium. He had a great race. He made some bold moves, and I'm going to give it to him.
You know, I think I might have to, too. Fake Knutson with the honorable mention. Billy Misu jumping up 3 positions, keeping that consistent in his Mercedes. Psycho did start P2, but didn't drop back too much. Got P5. Solid P5. There was a lot of contact. There's going to be a lot of digesting these onboards. I'm sure some of the drivers will be contacting the race director. I saw after It's Zexify had that brief contact with Shortbread, lost his position, decided to retire. Not sure if there was too much damage on the car, but was quickly to get out of his car and leave the session. Not sure if that was in protest, if that was a little bit of anger coming from the driver, but it'll be interesting to get some of these interviews, talk to the drivers personally, see what was going on, what happened on track. Is there something that we need to look at in the booth here?
Yeah, it might be something the stewards might be up tonight trying to sort out all of these post-race decisions. But well done to Shortbread. He, got a very good result there. Flat left, great result for the championship for him. He's got one hand on that trophy and only one more race remaining now in the season. Fake Knutson with his first podium in third. Well done to him. Congratulations. Billy Misu fourth. Psycho fifth. JMB Surreal sixth. Diego, Mikey, Mello Bello, and our Peter rounding out the points finishes. Silky, Spannel, Fanny Sarose, Jan, Jackie, Fetz, and Haran Ali all finishing. And Zexify the only retirement of the session. But Orkin, what was your favourite moment tonight? What would you say for you was the best moment?
The best moment, I gotta say, it was the battle in P1, just Shortbread and Nick Zexify going right after the safety car, neck and neck, trading places in S1, and on that long straight, just a little bit of clipping, a little bit of racing incident. I'm sure some drivers might disagree with the racing incident term, but it's just all of the action, all of the battles. They try and keep it as clean as possible in tough conditions. That's exactly what we want to see here at Gavra Racing.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I want to say is, before we sign off for tonight, thank you very much for watching, as always, here with Gavra Racing for Season 10. One more race next week in the United Arab Emirates, which is Abu Dhabi. Of course, the Yas Marina circuit, which will round off the season. Can the Ferrari of Flat Left take his championship this season, or will there be another contender to tune in and try and spoil the party? But from us, all of us here, from me and Orkin here at Gavra Racing, it's goodbye for tonight, and wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.